hands,
Oh.
like something I would do, you know.
Well, you say rubbing off.
Yeah.
Especially with you, I would assume rubbing off. You're taking literally
Rob's ropes.
Yeah, Rob's ropes. I laugh about that probably once a week. I'm not joking.
It's pretty good.
Like this Rob's ropes. Like what would we like? Would you just two normal guys, Rob from St. Charles, Illinois, talking about Rob like our?
Well,
ropes.
I don't know how normal we are, you know.
Yeah, but just
what's great is that she was involved in that conversation and pretty into it.
Well, she was more curious because, well, I think she was like, what was the term? She was hesitant to believe that you could shoot at 14 feet or whatever the record was.
That's not it.
You were ultra confident.
I think 8 feet.
Oh, fucking shit, bro. 8 feet?
Yeah.
Dude, 8 feet, bro.
Yeah.
No, like, I'm trying, like, 8 feet is, like...
It's a little taller than me.
A little bit taller than you.
2 feet taller.
Literally 33% taller than you.
So?
You're about 6 foot, roughly.
Yeah.
So...
I think it could be done.
8 feet... No. Oh, God. No.
I didn't think I can do it. I think it could be done.
So, in reality, you think that you could... Alright. So, here's my challenge to you. Is you go home, you mark your height on the... Like on door frame, you know, like you do with the kids that are growing, right? And you sit down, you lay down, you jerk off. You actually don't jerk off. You jerk off almost to completion for like 3 weeks straight, right?
Yes.
So this bust is ready to go, right? And then you have to lay down. I'll even give you the extra inches, the extra whatever from your ass to where the ejaculate is. So it doesn't have to be a full 8 feet. I just want it. Give me a foot higher than wherever you mark your because that will be less than 8 feet.
Right.
Plus, I'm giving you your ass plus whatever the length of your wiener is. Like you're getting a good fucking maybe a foot, right?
I guess we're gonna have to do this actually experiment. So,
dude, Rob's ropes would be super disappointing for all of us.
Yeah.
Like, no one's gonna
drizzle out. And like,
no one. If we,
I'd be nervous too.
No, 100%. If we actually dive into like measurements on Rob's ropes, like we're only like it's only gonna hurt our egos. Like there's nothing good is gonna come out of Rob's ropes.
Well, have you seen This Is the End?
Yeah.
With Danny McBride, he's like,
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, he's like, I have a large ejaculate. Like, it just comes all over the place.
Yeah. And then they just go in the fight.
Yeah. Actually, that'd be a good one for this list. But Danny McBride's pretty
actually that was
most
funny.
things. You know what I mean?
You know, Jonah Hill in that movie though was great, especially because he gets raped. Like
by the demon.
Like the best. Archie loved this part, and it really like seared it in my brain that it was funny. Because he loved the fact that like when Jonah Hill finally gets raped, you just see the shadow, and all of a sudden the demon has this huge fucking cock, like a huge cock. Like it's not vulgar, like it's just a shadow. But that subtle funniness, like that little tweak,
it's kind of tasteful, you know.
Well, 100%. Because if you just show like a veiny demon cock, like one, most guys would be like, "Oh, my dick's bigger than that," and two, like it's disgusting. A veiny demon cock.
Kind of reminds me of the Glory Hole Sunny episode, where
they don't show a wiener in that.
No, well, Frank's in there, and they send Dennis in, and then like you see the shadow of it.
Oh,
and Frank's like, there is no way I can picture that as a woman. Because the whole idea of Frank's like, well, yeah, it's a glory hole. Like, I don't care if it's a girl on the other side. And then he'll be like, well, assume he's also thinking it's a girl. And like he's like, how are you gonna do that with a cock in your mouth? Frank's like, I don't care. That's his problem.
That's his problem.
Because Frank doesn't give a shit.
No, I know. No, I know exactly. That is funny.
Yeah.
So we were talking about actually on the topic. Why don't you do your thing?
Oh, I always start the podcast. Rob's Ranks.
Oh shit!
Long intro.
I wasn't ready for that.
Kind of weird. I don't know where we're gonna cut this, but we were talking about Rob's Ropes, which is a separate segment. It's similar to Rob's Ranks, but
we'll probably cut the part about us talking about Rob's Ropes. Now it's just a cliffhanger.
Now we can talk about it.
Well, no, now it's a cliffhanger because we're not. I don't want to go into the details. Our pre.
Oh yeah.
Pre-show details.
All right, so Rob's Ranks.
Yeah.
Number 3 here.
A different RR.
We actually recorded this one prior. We've done this a few times. That it was like 4 in the morning. You don't even remember.
Supposedly we did. I don't think so.
Well, what do I roofie you?
I didn't say that. No. Why
have you ever been roofied?
What? No, I don't.
Question.
I don't think so.
Well, it's hard, usually guys aren't the ones that are being roofied, right?
I mean, I probably roofied myself.
Well, what I bring it up because
by that I mean I've taken Xanax and then drank intentionally to black out.
Right. I'm talking about the actual date rape drug. So last night I went to like a pool bar.
Yeah.
Bunch of pool tables. That's like the ideal situation if you were to roofie someone because they're playing pool but they leave their drinks. There's just drinks everywhere. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like for us guys, we don't have to worry about that because like no one's gonna roofie a guy.
Yeah.
Like no girl's gonna get anything out of that. Girls gotta honestly worry about their drinks, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like I would be worried about it because I know how scummy people are, right?
Yeah, you know, I yeah.
But
it's
I have
a weird concept. But
I have been roofied before.
Yeah.
Have I ever told you this story?
No.
I honestly got roofied. It's great. Not intentionally, so I'll break it down for you.
Oh.
So I think I was 18 or 19. I just graduated. I had like a third cousin I used to hang out with all the time. Went to East. He was a year younger, so they were still seniors.
I remember.
So yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
So I went to a house party at his buddy's house in like $1 million house.
Ben. Yeah, I remember Ben.
So big ass party, awesome house. I didn't know anyone really besides like his 2 immediate good friends and then like a couple of people that he hung out with, but it was mostly people younger that went to a different school. So I probably had like 8 beers, but I wasn't like hammered. You know, I was pretty drunk, and been there a couple hours, and then Fogarty showed up. I, obviously knew him. I was like, damn, dude, let's smoke. And so I wasn't that drunk. So I see him. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go out to my car and get some blunts. Roll one. Before that, though, I see this girl walking down the stairs. She can't walk at all. She is like falling down. She has one of these big, almost like a pimp chalice, but like a princess chalice. Mm-hmm. And big old mixed drink.
Yeah.
And she can't even walk. And like she's getting ready to fall. I'm like, I'll take this. You shouldn't be drinking that. So it was 3/4 full, some tasty girly drink.
Oh,
I drank it.
You drank it.
Yeah. And then after that, she like went to the couch, like laid down, and her friends were like, "What's wrong?"
Yeah.
I just thought she was drunk.
Yeah.
So I finished her drink, talked to Fogarty for a couple minutes, and I'm like, oh shit, I was gonna get those blunts. Go to my car. This is like 10:30 or 11 at night. Not even that late. I wake up the next morning in the ditch.
Yeah.
So I went to my passenger door to get the blunts that were in like my center console area, and I woke up. It's 8 in the morning. I was out for like 9 hours, dude. It's daytime. This old lady's walking her dog. I wake up to a dog licking my face. My passenger door's open, so obviously I went in there. I went back and retraced what happened. The last thing I remember was Fogarty, Princess Chalice, drinking her drink. So somebody fucking roofied her, right?
Jesus.
At that party, bro. And I took her drink, drank it, woke up in the ditch the next morning, and the lady's just like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, I must have fell asleep. And which is funny, my cousin apparently wasn't that good of a friend. He didn't wonder what happened to me. Like, I just disappeared, and like my car's there, and it was just funny. A super rich neighborhood, and this lady's just like, "What the fuck?" Like,
yeah, wow.
Dude. But I was out for 9 hours, dude. Like, that's strong.
Yeah,
and I felt like I was like green the next day for like until like the evening. Like just puking, felt like shit. Like, I know I had 8 beers, and like I smoked some weed. It was a normal night. I was.
How long was between the chalice and the
pass out?
Yeah,
probably 20 minutes, maybe less, dude. So that hit me hard. Again, it was mostly full, so she probably just had a little bit, but like it was enough to make her fucking be falling down.
Bro.
Yeah, disgusting, dude. Disgusting. So.
Do you suspect anyone that was at the party?
Like I said, I didn't know anyone really besides the 3 friends. It was like 60 people there. So, but that's just gross. It's like all friends.
Well,
like
in general, it was the East party, right? Like, because
those fuckers from East, bro.
Well, no, that's an unfortunate reality. Is like, so I went to East for like a month, right, before I transferred to North, and I say this often. I saw more fights at East in that 1 month than I did the entirety of the 3 and whatever months, essentially 4 years I did at North.
Yeah.
And I would say in general, like East has a bigger drug problem, a bigger gang problem. Like North has their own problems, or at least they did. I mean, it's been so long since we've been there, but it's just funny that like literally it's not that far away at all, but it's
same town.
It's two different realities.
And again, it's not that ghetto if people are mad. It's not like that. There's still a lot of rich people on that side of town.
No, 100%. I'm not.
It was just a different dynamic,
It's just 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
It really is just 2 different realities. People were growing up in 2 different atmospheres. It was completely different. It really was.
We grew up with all the rich kids.
Well,
you know?
I grew up with rich kids. I wasn't a rich kid.
Yeah, I wasn't really either. I mean,
but
I was in the poor spectrum of the rich kids.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
I would have been considered like poor, well, not poor, but like not wealthy going to east.
Right.
And then I went to north.
Right.
And people are getting like Hummers.
Why didn't they call St. Charles North, St. Charles West? Eventually it was West, but either way, we got to get to the topic.
Yeah, anyway.
All right, so this is Rob's ranks number 3. These are movie/TV comedy characters of all time. So, and there is a caveat that they can't be the main character.
Yeah.
So it can't be Will Ferrell and Anchorman.
Sidekicks, secondary characters.
Or if it's part of a group, right? Like if it's an ensemble piece where there's 3 or more and there's not really a main character, it's a group. That could work, but it can't be.
Well, give your examples.
Main...
When you explain it to me.
Yeah, so it can't be Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
Okay, it has to be now. Chevy Chase could qualify in Caddyshack.
Sure.
Because there's not really
in terms
a main
of the
character.
ensemble.
Ensemble would be Hangover. 3 characters.
That's
right.
3 best friends.
Yes. So there's not just 2. Or like Step Brothers doesn't count because it's just 2. There's like Bridesmaids. It could be because there's all those women.
There was another example that you had used. It was.
I should know my examples, but
Anyway.
All right, so we're doing top 5, and I have a couple honorable mentions, as I always do.
Yeah.
And this could be TV shows, it could be cartoons, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Honorable mention for me, number 1, Quagmire. Family Guy.
That's good.
Love Quagmire.
Yeah, that's good
just his raunchy, weird shit. Again, roofing fits in the roofie story.
So the ensemble. It would be an ensemble of the Griffin family, right?
Yes, yeah. Like obviously Peter wouldn't count, but his friends all count. Joe, Quagmire.
Well, Peter and the Griffin family are probably the main characters.
Yeah,
and then everyone.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So Quagmire is just a legendary. He makes the show. Any Quagmire episode, is gonna be amazing. Just dirty, and like the Tinder episode or the one where they tell him about internet porn for the first time. Yeah. He's like, "What internet? It's for nerds."
He's
like Quagmire. There's so much. There's like millions and millions of videos of points like people having sex on the internet. He's like, what? They don't see him for a week. Comes out to get the paper. He hasn't shaved, and like it's the side of it. Yeah, he's still skinny. The other arm just like fucking huge, dude. Yeah. He's like, what have you been doing? Oh, checking out that internet.
A good way to think about this is characters that you're glad didn't have a spinoff. Like they're perfect in their role.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're perfect secondary characters.
Okay, actually, I had Cartman written down as another honorable mention, but I'm going to scratch that. I love Cartman.
Yeah.
Randy Marsh, dude.
Yeah.
Got to be Randy.
That's a good one.
Randy.
That's a good one, yeah.
And here's the crazy thing about Randy is, South Park's been going on for 19 years. Randy didn't actually become a character until like season 5. He was essentially just one of the dads, right?
Yeah.
And then Randy took on a life of his own. Yeah. Almost like Kramer, or in the first season wasn't really Kramer. Next thing you know, he gets all goofy. I believe the episode that I can pinpoint when Randy became Randy was the Treehouse episode.
Sweet.
Where Randy gets divorced with Sharon, and then he's like, and then he has got the convertible, and like Stan gets his visitation. Yeah. It's like, okay, he's gonna hang out with his dad. He like drives him around the block, and like when he's at the stop sign, there's like 2 hotties next to him in the car. He's like, hey ladies, what are you doing? Yeah. This is his time with Stan. It ends up only being like 2 minutes. He's like, sometimes people fall out of love, and like, well, I'll see you next weekend, Stan. And then like from that point on, we got the Randy.
I'll argue that. Well, so I'll say his pinnacle moment or his coming of age moment, I believe, is different. But my earliest memory of Randy is when he's the scientist trying to figure out spontaneous combustion. Make love to me, Randy, please. Yeah. His fancy, he finally gets his 3 moments as an old lady, like make love to me, Randy. But so like that's not the first specific Randy moment. I recall that, but it didn't resonate with me.
Right.
His coming of age moment to me was when he was fighting the baseball team.
Oh yeah. No, this is America.
That was the Randy moment.
Right.
That's the definitive Randy moment that made him.
Another one a little earlier actually is the one where he's got to go see the Virgin Mary because he's an alcoholic. He gets a DUI. He's like, Stan, this is a disease. Yeah. I swear. He's like, no, just don't drink as much.
Yeah.
He's like, no. He's got a wheelchair. He's got the blanket.
What seems to be the problem? What seems to be the opposite problem?
Right. He's like, watch how it's done.
He's just pissing in the bottle.
Puts the gum in, rolls the window down.
Seems to be the
Oh
problem.
my god, yeah. So Randy is just any Randy episode. like along the lines of the Quagmire
Pretty
episode's
good.
even better. Like,
Very good.
I love Cartman, but
Phenomenal. If that's an honorable mention.
you'll like my list. And then one more honorable mention that this is a really small one. Small role, but it's Lawrence from Office Space.
I'll tell you what I'd do, man. 2 chicks at the same time, man.
And we'll definitely put this clip in because it's one of the best clips ever where he's like, Lawrence, what would you do with $1 million? He's like, I'll tell you what I'd do with $1 million. 2 chicks at the same time. Always wanted to do that, man.
That's one of them. I can honestly say I probably never watched that movie start to finish.
Yeah, but
But like I know, well, just because the way you quoted it, like you and Brainerd.
His name is Diedrich Bader, by the way.
Drew Carey guy.
He's kind of a
Drew Carey.
a small character actor kind of thing.
He was big in the Drew Carey show.
I just love his voice. I just like love him yelling through the wall to Peter, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Peter, man, check out this chick, Channel 9. Does this chick look like a hand?" I just love Lawrence, just the whole thing. He's only in the movie for what, 10 minutes maybe? At the very end, when he's think he's going to jail. Well, hey, Peter, man, watch a cornhole.
See, to me, he's a huge part of that movie.
Yeah.
Like he is
he's almost the voice of reason, dude.
Well, no, just because when I first heard about the movie, I didn't even know about the movie until I heard you and like Brainerd talking about it.
Right.
We were talking about the movie, specifically quoting him, and so it's funny to me, like going into it, I'm like, he's going to be like one of the recurring funny characters.
No,
he's just the neighbor that was
Yeah, well, he seems like a loser, but he actually has his life. Yeah, he works construction, but he has his life like in order. You know, he's just a simple man.
He likes what he likes. And,
Yeah, I'm doing the drywall at the new McDonald's. All right, so we'll get to our list now. Who do you got at number 5?
So originally I had this written down as number 3, but oh, this is a weird one. So this is number 5 because they're very obscure. So the way I compiled my list was I kind of went through either the funniest shows or movies that I could think of, and South Park was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to think of the funniest. Randy was, I can't believe that passed my mind, but was Chef's parents.
Yeah.
I need about 350.
Just
350.
Just the 350 bit, and just they just blatantly call the little kids crackers all the time. Like, aren't you crackers as cute as the Dickens?
Right.
Like, and then this I don't know, the stories. Just I don't know. There's something about that every single time I see that, it makes me laugh, and it's something I quote habitually to this.
How many episodes there are of South Park, and like you're quoting, they're in what, 4 or 5 episodes? Yeah. Obviously, because it has to be when Chef was even a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think they were more prominent in a couple later episodes, but they had like 2 or 3 scenes. Like, and the idea, the thing is, the dad believes in the Loch Ness monster.
Right.
Both the parents do, really, and the Loch Ness monster is always out to get $3.50.
Right.
So
the little outfits. And
so every time that Chef is involved in an episode, the kids are following Chef, and the Chef has to go to his parents' house. It always ends up the parents are talking about a time when they met the Loch Ness monster, and the Loch Ness monster tried to swindle them out of $3.50.
Such a large amount. You know what they kind of remind me of is the parents in Nutty Professor, a little bit.
Sure.
You know that dinner scene when like he takes the teacher into there and they're all just farting and being.
Yeah, I remember the farts.
Yeah. Just the way that the dad mostly, just the way he talked.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Maybe there's some inspiration there.
Yeah. All right. So my number 5. McLovin.
Oh, yeah.
Super bad.
It's 10:33. Here. What?
Didn't really go on to a great career, honestly. He was in Role Models and a few other things. His name is Christopher Mintz.
Mintz.
Peace or Plas. We don't even know how to pronounce it.
Well, yeah.
But like that's an iconic role in an iconic movie.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'd say Jonah Hill is probably the funniest aspect of that movie, but the character of McLovin is the funniest character. You know what I mean? He, like, kind of makes everyone... Just like, the movie goes off the rails when he just disappears with the cops, and it's just batshit crazy, and... his character arc from, like, walking in, you know, the whole thong scene where he's like, I told her what time it was. He's like, I was following her, and I totally see her thong through her pants, and it was fucking awesome. I told her what time it was, and they're like, "Oh, that's the coolest story of all time." Okay, and then getting the ID, the McLovin.
I am McLovin.
Just the way how he when he started chicken out at the liquor store, and Jonah's like, he's like, yeah, I'll fucking cut your face off and I'll wear it as a mask and I'll go in there. He's like, you don't have the technology or the steady hands to perform that operation. Just he's such a little douche and just
No, that was
epic, right?
That's one movie I'm very, very happy that has, whatever today's date is in 2020, it has not gotten canceled yet.
Right.
Like,
It's,
which does it deserving based on everything.
they use the fag word a lot and
Yeah,
gay and
yeah.
but that movie is kind of innocent in a way. Like it's just everyone in the movie is super horny,
Well,
right?
it's a coming of age story. Like we
Right.
can relate to it.
That was our high school days.
So I think there's
You know?
too many. I think too many people understand what they're going through to cancel it because like okay,
Right.
I get that. Yeah, it's like a lot of those 80s movies like Breakfast, whatever
Yeah.
16 Candles, all like those were coming of age movies for a lot
Right.
of those teens.
And they got allowed to
like
do a
this
lot of
was
shit.
yeah. So no, it's
Yeah, love McLovin. Who do you got for number 4?
you know real quick on what do you think about Michael Cera?
He killed in that movie.
Still like him?
Yeah. He's he kind of didn't do much. I think he kind of went to the Jason Alexander thing of he's kind of a Broadway guy. Like he's a serious actor. He didn't do much.
Yeah.
You know, he was in Juno, which is
Yeah.
super big. Which is ironic that he knocked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to go there, right?
Well,
Well, they'll cancel us.
Well, it's just that's not even a funny movie. So why are we talking about it funny?
Right.
This is-
What was funny about it is they knocked up a dude, but
I understood. Yes,
she identified as a dude.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, Juno, that, and then there was also the playlist movie or whatever.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim.
There's a couple he did right there.
I like
that were,
Scott Pilgrim. That was cool.
he kind of just got pigeonholed too into just that whole. He's actually really great. And This Is the End. He's all coked up, and the girl's
he's
like,
trying to
"Eat
fuck
ass."
Rihanna.
Yeah.
He's trying to fuck
He's
Rihanna.
just super sloppy drunk, and
he loses his cell phone.
Yeah.
Ends up in his pocket all the time.
as he's like stabbed.
I'm
through the
super
fucking-
embarrassed. Yeah.
Great. All right. You got number 4.
Number 4. So I don't know. I think I've mentioned this probably for 3 years in a row now. I don't think you've ever still watched it. Is Curb Your Enthusiasm? JB Smooth, Leon.
Yeah.
Because I
didn't even know he was in that show, so I've only seen a few episodes.
Okay.
I know JB Smooth. He's in the commercials now. He did the NBA thing.
He does. Yeah, he's the Caesars.
Yeah.
So, you probably. But I'm assuming this is where he got his popularity from because he's hilarious and he.
Is he in every episode kind of thing, or more
Now,
just a cameo?
no. At first, so he probably wasn't in the first. I mean, there's at least the first half of the first season. So he, in the first season or two, this is like back in like during Katrina. So the premise of like one of the arcs they were going to do throughout the season was Larry David adopts a family from Katrina, and JB Smooth was part of it, and Larry David ends up dating his sister or cousin or something like that. That's like A. Fox, maybe.
Ooh.
She's pretty.
Yeah, Independence Day.
Yeah, maybe.
She was a stripper in Independence Day.
I don't know if that's who it is though. So
Yeah, but it's kind of a Vivek A. Fox now. Yeah.
yeah. Either way, she's pretty, whoever she is, and in the show she dies from cancer or something like that. But JB Smooth somehow swindles his way into just staying with Larry David.
Yeah.
He just now lives with Larry David. He's like, he's just Larry David's friend.
Yeah.
Doesn't pay for shit ever. Just bangs girls all. But he's like funny. Like he's the perfect balance to Larry David, who's a Jewish old. He's like 70-year-old Jewish guy, and then Larry or JB Smooth is like, I guess probably not like a 50-year-old black guy, but like comes from like the stereotypical. I don't know. It's
Okay. JB Smooth.
he's funny.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
funny. He does.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, number 4, Frank the Tank. Will Ferrell, old school.
I thought we were in the trust tree in the nest, are we not?
Yeah.
There's a lot of awesome Will Ferrell performances. This is I like him as a leading man, but I always preferred Will Ferrell kind of as a secondary guy.
Yeah.
You know, like more than a cameo, but less than the leading guy. You know what I mean? Like kind of just give me 30 minutes of Will Ferrell in a movie and let him cook. I mean,
Wedding
every
Crashers.
scene he's in, yes. Every scene he's in, he is the funniest person in the movie, and that's an awesome, funny movie. But just the way he's handling the hockey stick with the earmuff thing, just hitting shit, and
that's why
he's tuning up the Red Dragon, with the beer and just
it's not exactly street legal.
Yeah, right. Keep that on the down low, honey. And then, of course, the iconic Olive Garden therapy scene. It's like out to a night. It starts off so innocent too. Out to a nice dinner at Olive Garden, and then at some point in the evening, I just noticed one of the young waitresses, and I couldn't help but thinking, like, what kind of underwear she was wearing. Is she wearing panties, or maybe it's silk, maybe it's a thong, maybe it's something super cool I don't even know about. And then the look that his wife gives him, though, is the best look ever.
I think that was the beginning of the station. Are we not in the
Yeah, right.
Space,
The nest, the tree.
Nest,
we are.
No,
we are.
Okay.
Keep on going.
Just keep. The therapist's like, oh.
Doesn't realize you can't say that.
The therapist's like, oh, buddy.
The shrieking scene. There's just. It's so great. Him singing "Dust in the Wind." The messages he leaves. All the messages.
It's me, Frank
this
Ricard.
is Frank Ricard.
I was wondering if you want to go out for some ice cream.
Yeah, right. They put on the Cisco CD. It's just so quotable. It's so great. We didn't even mention the fucking tranquilizer scene with Sean William Scott, which he kills in that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just took a trank to the neck, man. The jugular.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's why, honestly, Will Ferrell was built for SNL because he's good and skit like moments.
Yeah, it can overdo it. Like an Anchorman, I feel like he's not even. I feel like the crew around him is funnier.
Well, if we talk top 5 SNL, maybe that'll be in Rob's ranks in the future. Yeah, he's on the Mount Rushmore for sure, for me at least.
All right, number 3. Who do you got?
Very similar to Will Ferrell. It's Paul Rudd.
60% of the time, it works every time.
I have Anchorman written down.
Right.
It's Steve Fontana.
Yeah, Steve Fontana.
Fontana. Thank you. Yeah. But when we actually originally did this, the one thing you remind me of is I had mentioned Paul Rudd in a different role, which was the Tim and Eric
TV show.
Yeah.
Wait, that counts for this list now. So
so he's a secondary character in all these things, much to what you're describing about with Will Ferrell. He's a great secondary character,
especially as a comedic actor, because he's not necessarily a comedic actor, right? Like he's become one, but I feel like he's just an actor.
Yeah, I guess it may be insulting, like if there's huge Paul Rudd fans out there, which apparently there are, because he was just the sexiest man alive.
Crazy that he was voted,
Yeah, so I'm thinking it was a secondary comedic character,
right?
Which I guess speaks to his range. So there you go.
Yeah, because he does have good range.
I mean, everything he's in, I think he's funny. I think he's a genuinely funny person. So.
Yeah, knocked up. Even though he's not even playing anyone funny, he's just such a nice counterpart to Seth Rogen's character, because he's the successful one with the family.
40-year-old virgin.
Oh, yeah, I actually love that one version.
Yeah, so.
He's talking about his love story, and he ended up dating her for 5 months.
Yeah.
The girl's like, I changed my email, I changed my address, changed my phone number.
He's the stalker,
right.
Stop fucking with my friend.
He's just talking about how romantic it was, and real quick not trivia, but fun fact: Paul Rudd's first movie, Halloween 6.
6?
Yeah.
How many are there now?
There's been 10 or 11 with remakes.
Jamie Lee Curtis has
a penis.
Fallen from grace so much that she was. So Roku is the streaming service that does Reno 911 now, and they have for the last 2 seasons, which is actually really funny. The Reno 911, I actually enjoy.
I haven't seen the new seasons, but
it's on Roku TV. So as long as you buy Roku TV, you get this for free.
Huh.
You literally get basic cable for free with Roku.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. Anyways, so Jamie Lee Curtis had a 2 or 3 episode stint on the essentially basic cable Reno 911.
No shit.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Yeah, and she was really putting herself out there.
She Howard Johnson.
Well, no.
Well, that's putting herself out there.
Almost. She tried to, I think.
Oh. I don't know if she got that removed, but.
Well, it was just it seemed very out of character for her. I was just she's older. I was thinking she was a little bit more distinguished.
Yeah. She
was a very sexualized character.
Yeah.
It was end of the day, her story was kind of funny, but I don't know. It seemed really weird. To me, I don't think of her as that like ever.
No,
And it seemed forced. Yeah.
You know the joke about Jamie Lee that I told you my dad said when I was young.
Yeah.
She was born with both. She's a hermaphrodite. And like this is back pre-internet almost, so like there was no fact checking and
That was the rumor. That was the That was when it was trending.
But because my dad told me that, I took it as fact.
Exactly. If you knew, and I took it as fact for so long.
I know because I always told you about it.
I
don't know why I was always telling people about Jamie Lee Curtis's multiple.
I had no corroborating like sources at all
from my dad.
But there was always doubt.
Yeah, there was always.
Every time I saw her, I'm like, well, like,
right.
Like, oh, she kind of looks a little pretty there. Like, but wait a second.
Well, it doesn't mean she didn't have a vagina. She just had
no, but
you know.
As a teenager growing up in the early 2000s, late 90s, I don't want anything to do with a dick.
Right.
Like,
you're saying you do now?
No,
but it's more acceptable now, right?
What I'm saying is, Jesus.
All right, number 3 for you. Or was that just your number 3? You just did it. You just did it. My bad. Yeah. My bad. All right, mine. Alan, Hangover. Zach Galifianakis.
Good one again.
Says here we should work in teams. Who wants to be my spotter?
I started doing my list like weeks beforehand.
No, but these are good.
You know?
It's
and this is the definition of, like I said, the ensemble, right? There is no lead. Technically, he is the lead, but there's 3 of them, you know, not counting Doug, who did only the first part of the
going
movie.
into it, he was the third fiddle for sure.
Yeah.
Build.
Yeah, because Ed Helms.
He stole the show.
This is where he became. I believe his first movie was Out Cold, that snowboarding movie, and then he had some stuff like kind of almost Tim and Eric, kind of like weird, not internet stuff, but small little stuff he did, and he was known in like comedy circles. Yeah. I remember like Jimmy Kimmel had him on a couple times back when Kimmel was popular.
I remember he used to do piano skits.
Yeah. He was like one of them weird, like obscure guys.
Well, he was a comedian.
And this is what made Zach Galifianakis a star, rightfully so, because, and again, it's the writing for him was amazing. You know what I mean? The whole movie is amazing. It's great, but like there's the way he delivers his lines, his the way he reacts to things. Like when one of my favorite little small things, it's not even like sort of funny by most, is when they're leaving the church, the chapel, after they find out that Ed Helms got married to the prostitute. The stripper, you know, and like they're like, oh, you got the high rollers package, and he's got all the shit, like the hats, the mugs, and all the pictures, and like Zach's super happy, he puts the hat on, and then when they get to the car, Ed Helms is like, we're burning all this and the cop car. He's like, this night never happened, and he takes off Zach Galifianakis' hat, throws it in Zach, hey, like I was wearing that, like he really wanted that hat, and the whole we'll put this clip in, it's the best when he's talking about masturbating on an airplane. He's like, yeah, it's like counting cars is like looked down upon, like masturbating on an airplane. Like, I'm pretty sure that's illegal too. He's like, well, yeah, ever since 9/11, you know, people are all uptight. It's like, thanks a lot, Bin Laden. Like, just the way he delivers that line, just, like I don't think anyone else could really deliver it like that. You know what I mean? So casual.
He got in the character the same way. Who's the dude that Heath Ledger did for Joker?
Yeah.
Like
he just became
he became the retard.
And I also love him in Due Date. That's that's such,
I'm not
nice.
Movie, yeah.
Due Date is kind of like a planes, trains, and automobiles, like where they're just on a road trip. It's the straight edge, the Steve Martin, which is Robert Downey Jr. And the idiot John Candy is then again Zach Galifianakis, and it's just their personalities are so different. And even though like Zach Galifianakis is a way better person in that movie than Robert Downey Jr. is, in terms of he's a pure, genuine dude.
He's the big goof.
He's just an idiot, like
oh gosh, whoa.
Yeah, and Hangover is just an all-time comedy. Again, that was the very end of acceptable R-rated, you know, fag jokes and dick jokes, and
I just remember,
you know,
I'm not going to name names, but there was people that are kind of dumb jockey people that it was a godsend for them to get the joke. What's the capital of Taiwan? Bangkok.
Right.
Like that was just the low hanging fruit. I'm sure you know who I'm thinking of. There's a couple people in school that just loved that joke. That was just right up their alley.
Yeah.
But no, it was it was a cultural thing. It really was.
Yeah. The second one's okay. The third one's pretty bad.
Well, just the first Hangover.
Yeah, first Hangover was just so the plot, the way they did it, the chronological shit. All right, number 2.
So this is another guy it kind of goes across a few different shows here. Isn't it Chris Parnell? I don't know if you.
You're my best friend, Jerry Smith. I love doing cocaine with you.
Whoa, I love doing cocaine with you too, Johnny Depp.
You know who that is. He was on SNL in the 90s. He is on Archer. He's on Rick and Morty. He is 30 Rock.
I'm sure I know who he is.
Dr.
He's
Sobchak.
obscure.
No, because he's everywhere. Like he's
Right.
So he's Jerry on
Oh, okay. I know who he is.
He's a
Yep.
he's the
21
Chronicles
Drum Street.
of what Narnia with Andy Samberg.
He's an anchorman.
Yeah.
He's in an episode of Workaholics.
It's a poop. Your poop mouth. Poop.
Yeah.
That's Chris
Oh
Parnell.
my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but he's also Jerry. So he's the dad in Rick and Morty.
Okay.
In
Is he the voice of Archer?
No, in Archer he is. His name is Cyril, I believe. So Cyril is like the kind of accountant type guy, but apparently has a really big wiener and bangs all the chicks. But he's like very like insecure. Where Archer is like the masculine guy.
Yeah.
They play off each other, but Cyril, Chris Parnell's guy, is like heroic in his own way. Anyways, but so I mean, he is he plays that character so well that gee golly ignorant like dad type, like I don't know, typical white guy almost. Like he plays that, but he plays that the way it should be with a smart, sarcastic intelligence. He does a great job in everything he does. So yeah, he's my number 2.
It's a deep one.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
well, for like me on the outside,
I couldn't narrow him down to like a single role.
Yeah, that's a good thing though.
Yeah, I think he goes across quite a few things. So.
All right, my number 2, Cosmo Kramer.
Oh,
Seinfeld, played by Michael Richards.
Yeah.
Here's to feeling good all the time.
Kind of just became Michael Richards. Well, unfortunately, he had the whole breakdown on stage, N-word thrown around, which is not good. If you want a nice laugh, though, or I don't even know what to call a laugh, but check that clip out of him freaking on the stage. It's bad. Really bad. It's not a joke. Like, he could never play it off as a joke. It's very malicious. It's very angry. I don't think that should define him, though. But it definitely was a black eye for him. But either way, the character of Kramer was so great and so becoming that he could never really do anything after Seinfeld, or he didn't need to anyway for money, but that's just he is just Kramer, right? He became that character unlike anything I've ever seen, really.
All right, so I'll argue that more so than Michael Richards becoming Kramer, I'll say that I can't think of the character, the guy's name, but the guy that played Al Bundy.
Yep.
Is Al Bundy more so like he's a Modern Family, right?
Yeah. He's also in Wayne's World as the diner.
But he's Al Bundy.
Yeah.
Like
yeah. Well, on the same line.
Well, same thing. Exactly. Same thing. Right.
That actually would be a nice honorable mention too. I like him.
But he's not. He's the main.
Yeah. Kramer is just. I mean, he can only be in there for 4 scenes, and is always doing something.
Yeah.
The way he reacts.
I think he made the other guys like they had to cut off his applause if you watch after like season 3.
Right, because it was the biggest.
Because you always got the biggest.
Michael Jordan, when they're announcing the top 10 of all time, okay, awesome, MJ, steal the show. Right?
Pippen, Rodman, Kukoc, Steve Kerr, enjoy.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't really say enough about the dude in the show because it's the best show of all time. I think we can both agree with that.
Yeah.
I love me some Sunny. I love me some South Park. I love me some Family Guy. There's some other good shows, but there's nothing quite like Seinfeld. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that it was set in the 90s. It's just such a nice period piece. 90s, New York,
Well, I think it's... So my thought on it is, just now, is that, one, like, it's a time that we look back fondly on.
As kids.
Plus, it's something that we would be comfortable, if we were to have kids, like,
yeah,
we would feel comfortable watching it any
age.
Yeah,
pretty much,
yeah.
It's relatively politically correct. They don't swear, they don't drink. It's not like It's Always Sunny where,
which is fine. But I think at a certain age, like I think you exposing kids to something like that too early.
Yeah.
Right.
Seinfeld's just good. Anyone can like it. You know what I mean?
And I think it's good natured.
Yeah. And George could have been on my list too. We both love George, but I feel like George was. Not saying the writing wasn't good for Kramer, but the writing, which is essentially Larry David's.
I agree with you.
Is George. And George's acting was great, but like the situations George came upon were funnier. Kramer didn't need a situation to be funny. Just him walking in the door. And there's the one, there's actually an awesome thing on YouTube where it's every Kramer entrance. They have maybe like 5 seconds of the conversation. And the best thing is there's a one where he has like the kidney stone or he needs a shit or whatever and he can't shit. And like he walks in super gingerly. Like just so much different than the other ones. And like it's just the way he did it. Like if you can make walking in an entrance funny.
Well, that thing, the like 90s thing of like Farley was all about like physical acting, right? But he like legit was the most natural. Mm-hmm. He looked real when he was doing it, where you could see like Farley, okay, he's acting out, like he's being wild right now, like all right, he's just in a mood. With Michael Richards, with Kramer, it was
a little more intellectually.
Well, it was just like that's. I'm sure everyone that walked up to him in the street was surprised when he didn't act exactly like Kramer.
Right, yeah, that just became him, right? He is Kramer. All right, number 1 for you.
So I don't think he's like funny. Like he hasn't made me die laughing the most, but it's someone that balanced out. Like this is my favorite like comedy of all time. Is The Office, the American version of The Office. And it's Jim Halpert, John Krasinski.
Manage you to, on a more personal scale, a more micro form of management. Jim, what is that called?
Microagement.
Boom. Yes. Now, Jim.
He made it feels like he invented the looking at the camera like that whole thing that is very common now, breaking the fourth wall, and looking into the camera and like reacting towards the audience, like
almost acknowledging you're in a show.
Yeah, like what? Like golly, that's stupid, or like oh shucks, like he made that a thing to me, and it's you see it on every single we take it for granted now, but like that was him to me. Plus, he was like an intelligent counter, very witty to Michael Scott or Steve Carell's.
They were
zany,
nice little
zany, So it just like
similar to how Kramer and Jerry were a good balance, right? Jerry's so sane, Kramer's so over the top.
Well, I think Kramer would be more like Dwight.
Yeah.
Where Jim might.
Well, Steve Carell definitely ain't Jerry because Steve Carell is like almost like the George. Would you agree?
No, I think so. Steve Carell, is like the George, and Jim is like the Jerry, like the sane one. There's also he's still like a kind of a narcissistic dick. He's allowing this to happen. He understands this is chaotic and this is stupid, and this is not the way you should treat people. But he's kind of going along with it and doing pranks alongside it. Steve Carell is the reason for the show. Once he left, the show wasn't the same. Which, it kind of goes to the point that he's a great sidekick. He's not a great main.
Yeah,
like none of those guys were great mains. They're all like Steve Carell was the son. They were all the planets. Like, if it wasn't for Steve Carell, like they would all be out doing their own thing and their own careers. He's the reason that everyone was brought together.
Yeah. All right, my number 1.
Yeah.
Drum roll. Walter Sobchak, Big Lebowski.
First of all, dude, you don't have an accent. Secondly, this is a fucking show dog with fucking papers. You can't board it, it gets upset. Its hair falls out.
Walter.
Fucking dog has fucking papers. Over the line!
John Goodman.
Okay.
This is for me the definition of the list. Like, in the spirit of the list is the supporting actor. He's had a pretty illustrious career, but this is his funniest role. This is one of the best roles. Well written, but the way he delivers the shut the fuck up Donnies.
I'm a huge John Goodman fan.
Yeah.
He's everything he does, I'm a fan.
He can play serious.
I love watching him on podcasts, but yeah.
He's just the energy he had in this movie. unparalleled, really. I mean, and it was like Chris Farley energy, but controlled.
Yeah.
And just the way he played off everything about Vietnam, and just how involved he gets in all of fucking the dudes. And by the way, I'm wearing the dude outfit.
Yeah,
I got the pants on, actually. Whoa. Whoops. I got the pants on. I don't have his shirt, but whatever. Most of the dude's outfit. I got the beard going. Got the long hair. I'm really going full dude here. Just everything about Walter in that movie is just every line he says is great.
Yeah.
He's clearly a good friend, but he's so interested in the Rugg story and just like so convinced she kidnapped herself, like where he probably shouldn't have been. You know
what he reminds me of is someone that's gone way too far down a rabbit hole, like a conspiracy theory rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Like he genuinely means well for you.
Yeah.
But what he's saying and doing is not helping anyone, right? Like the craziness that he's saying, it's hilarious because John Goodman delivers it so well. Like,
yeah.
But
and just the way he plays off of the dude who's just this zen loser, chill dude, right? And like they're exact opposites, right? And that's why Donnie's actually great, because he's actually like not the voice of reason. He's just there. You know, he's such a genuine,
he's indifferent
soul. You know, he's such a peaceful guy. Like, Walter. My favorite scene is the Market 8 or Market 0 when he pulls the gun out. We'll put that clip in. It's just because the guy went over the line. He wasn't even looking at him. He's having the conversation about the Pomeranian he has, about the dog, and just casually he sees, which you can't really see from that angle if a guy went over the line, right? And just the reaction to that is so genuine. Pulls the gun out. He's like, "Am I the only one that gives a fuck about the rules?" Like I'm not even going to try to do it with the energy because no one could.
It's like it's trying to impersonate Chris Farley.
Can't do it. I better do a lot of cocaine to do that. You know.
But I don't think Goodman was on Rogan.
Recently?
No, maybe a year.
Okay, I've seen some of the clips. Goodman's great.
But you can just tell how out of his element he was. Like he's not that person.
No, he's actually a very gentle.
No, that's what I'm exactly like. He's not like even as Dan Connor and Roseanne.
Yeah.
It's
also,
I don't know how I know Dan Connor.
Look at you,
because here's the reason I remember Roseanne is because I think. It's funny because, like, you remember, like, little battles that your parents had. Like, growing up, I remember my dad made, like, a joking point that he hated Roseanne.
Right. The show or her?
Just the show.
Okay.
Like, I don't want... It was like, my mom wanted to watch Roseanne, like in 1991 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And my dad's like, no, this is, like, one of my earlier memories. Like, my dad, like, I just fucking hate that show. Like, it was, like... I don't want to go, if I'm with a girl, I don't want to watch Friends, or I don't want to watch
it's one of those things,
Buffy the Vampire, whatever whatever girlfriend wanted to watch at the time. So it was just like, so that always stuck. Like, but the thing is, like, the fact that my dad said he hated it, I'm like, all right, like now I have to watch it. Like, why does he hate it? Yeah. So Dan Connor.
Have you watched it?
Not the new one, no.
No, but have you watched any of the old ones? What do you think of it? Was it okay? I'm sure it's good.
No, I don't think I enjoyed it. I think, like, just from just it was not a good show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it wasn't
not as good as Married with Children. Would you put that better? I like that show.
With Al Bundy.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Christina Applegate too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, there's always Babe. Like any like Babe, like they're just big bossy. No, Al. What's his name, dude?
The actor that plays Al Bundy?
Yeah, man.
Well, it's just Al Bundy now, right?
No. What's his
name? Real quick. I should know this. His name is Ed O'Neill.
Yes, Ed O'Neill.
Yeah, he's just Al Bundy. He's still alive.
He's still playing, or he was in Modern Family.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all the pictures are just him sitting on the couch. So great.
But he was a just like George or Jason Alexander.
Yeah, Broadway guy.
Yeah, Broadway guy.
Wouldn't guess that.
And he, just like George Alexander with George, was typecast. Where I've seen like interviews where he says, "I would go on stage and try to be like World War II general."
Yeah.
And as soon as I came on the film, on the screen, people started laughing like, "Oh, it's Al Bundy."
Right. You can't play anything serious.
Yeah,
that sucks.
But he's a gentle heart. He's a good guy, I think.
All right, Rob Drinks.
All right.